With the Soviet Union, there was a unit of Islamic Taliban fighters with the same name. The fighters didn't have much equipment but possessed universal skills. Each of them was a radio operator, a sapper, and a sniper. And they could also operate every kind of firearm. But the defining feature of the Black Storks was their savage cruelty. Their prisoners were tortured so badly that they were even compared with the Gestapo. Scary, right? Now, get this. It was the Pakistani Black Storks group that trained these Afghani guerrillas. These Pakistani fighters had a fearsome and controversial reputation, but the modern Black Storks of Pakistan fight against terrorism, and it is this unit that guards the country's nuclear weapons. The Danish Special Forces consists of fighters whose primary objective is to quickly and effectively destroy the enemy's manpower, their transport, and their supplies. But aside from their assault and diversion efforts, they also do reconnaissance. What is this elite unit capable of? For example, to join their ranks, one must run 1.7 miles or 2.8 kilometers in 12 minutes or faster, and march for over 43 miles or 70 kilometers with a heavy backpack that weighs 22 pounds or 10 kilograms. Danish territory includes a lot of islands, so its special forces must be excellent at carrying out military operations underwater and on the shore. For this, they need special weapons and suits. This is why they wear such strange masks, for camouflage in the water. How do you like the Heckler & Koch P11 underwater pistol that fires steel darts? And the arsenal of heavy weaponry available to this unit is also gigantic. Modern assault rifles, sniper rifles with 6x scopes, machine guns, even grenade launchers. The Danish frogmen can and must fight in the water, but it looks like they could deal with the heaviest of tanks easily. This is probably what attracted Danish Crown Prince Frederick, who joined the unit in 1995. After training in the Danish Special Forces, it's like you gain superpowers. The Chinese Snow Leopard or Snow Wolf Commando unit also trains superhumans. No, they don't get bitten by radioactive spiders or anything like that, only training. Brutally hard training. The soldiers have to, for instance, climb up a 5-story high brick wall in 30 seconds, without any equipment. Impressive? And how do you like this test? Swim 3.1 miles or 5 kilometers with full equipment that weighs about 22 pounds or 10 kilograms. Then you only get 1 minute 20 seconds. These fighters are also trained in precision. Could you hit a target from 656 feet or 200 meters? Well, Chinese commandos can do that on the move at 31 miles per hour or 50 kilometers per hour. Their training seems more like torture, right? It must be, but it gets results. Once, Afghani terrorists captured some Chinese workers. 32 soldiers were sent out to rescue him. After a night raid, not only were all the hostages alive and liberated, but 21 terrorists were apprehended. Not a single shot fired. How's that for results? The French GIGN, let's give this a go, Groupe d'Intervention de la Gendarmerie Nationale, or the National Gendarmerie Intervention Group, was created as a highly professional unit for fighting such threats as plane hijacking and civilian hostage-taking. The fighters of this unit don't just carry out assaults or engage in combat in the city, but in forested areas, in any weather, in any condition. This is highly difficult, which is why the selection process is very stringent. Over 93% of candidates are eliminated. How do you like this outfit? It's like they're cyborgs, not people. Every fighter has 3 to 4 kinds of firearms on them, at least 2 of which are long-barreled. Try to run through the forest with a machine gun and a sniper rifle on your back. Additionally, the GIGN often uses different kinds of rounds, some powerful, aimed at piercing through the enemy's body armor, and others with low ricochet probability to ensure the safety of hostages and peaceful civilians. Remember action movies about highly qualified units fighting terrorists who captured a nuclear weapon? Films like that used to be incredibly popular. Well, those are the kinds of tasks the GIGN is supposed to take care of in France. Makes them seem quite capable, wouldn't you say? The Russian elite special forces are called the Alpha Group, and in this country, they are considered to be the best. The Alpha Group has a wealth of experience. The release of 347 passengers from a hijacked plane in 1992, the rescue of tourists from South Korea captured by a Seoul terrorist in 1995, the rescue of children from a school in Rostov that was captured by terrorists in 1993. During the Chechen War, this unit took part in tens, even hundreds of operations. Impressive battle experience, right? This is why it was such a shock to everyone when Alpha Group fighters were accused of robbery in 2019. It turned out that 3 fighters had taken 136 million rubles, that's over 1.8 million US dollars, from a Moscow entrepreneur. This turned out to be a common robbery. At least that's what the investigation says. What do you think about this blow to the group's reputation? And how do you like this uniform? Unusual, right? This is the Republic of China Army, ROCA, the Special Forces of Taiwan. Quite recently, the unit's fighters updated their equipment design. See these masks? That appearance is not aimed at intimidation. On the contrary, it's highly practical. This mask can withstand shots fired at the fighter's face from 35 caliber weapons. That means 9mm. Cool, right? The fighters of the unit also use the best surveillance technologies available. It all looks very futuristic and cool. One of the most effective special forces in the world is the Polish GROM. I'm just gonna call them GROM, sounds fun. Its fighters are known for their unique, high profile. They were often used to protect VIPs. For example, it was GROM that protected Haiti's President Aristide, who was overthrown by a military junta in 1994. Moreover, such important people as the US Secretary of Defense and the Commander of the United States Army entrusted the Poles with their lives. At the time, they were in Haiti on a business visit. In the 90s, it was GROM that was tasked with destroying the Polish mafia, and then with the most dangerous and secretive operations in the Balkans. For instance, they searched for the war criminals responsible for ethnic cleansings. The Israeli Sayeret Matkal is a unit with its own peculiarities of work. Their profile is sabotage, and they have no match in the world. To this end, they have specialized skills. They are trained in the operation of various kinds of firearms and given an extensive hand-to-hand combat course. But that's not all. They must also know different dialects of Arabic, how to land, how to handle explosives, and much more. Every soldier of Sayeret Matkal is a versatile fighter. For example, in 1996, they carried out Operation Isotope, freeing a plane that had been captured by terrorists. How? Well, first, they damaged the plane's tires and hydraulic system. The terrorists allowed aircraft technicians to approach the plane, but the technicians turned out to be commandos in disguise. After that, the plane was taken by storm. Guess how long it took? A minute and a half. But the key feature of the unit is this: they have no forward command, only follow me. So senior officers risk their lives more than their subordinates, not less. How do you feel about such selflessness? The American Navy SEALs have already become legendary. This special force focuses on conducting effective operations on any terrain, but especially in the water and on the shore. Teamwork is highly important for them, but the individual talents of each member also have a lot of importance. For example, Chris Kyle, one of the most effective snipers in the history of the US military forces. In his whole career, he eliminated 255 targets. And he, as you probably understand, was a Navy SEAL. Chris is also famous as the marksman who set the record for the longest shot in a battle situation. Under fire, his life hanging by a thread, He hit the target from 2,100 yards or 1,920 meters away. It's not unreasonable to think that a squad of SEALs could attack an entire army, don't you think? The Spanish Naval Special Operations Unit, UOE, specializes in taking over highly fortified enemy positions. This requires stringent tests for new recruits. The instructors judge how good the candidate for the Special Forces is at performing tasks while marching, while being shouted at and berated, while under fire, basically in very unpleasant conditions. And then there are 3 survival tests. How's that for training? But if the candidate withstands all the challenges, he will be made into a most effective battle machine. They are taught close quarters combat with weapons and without, operating every kind of firearm, navigation, parachuting, and many other skills. What do you think? Is such strict selection really necessary, or is it a bit too much? The fighters of Her Majesty's Special Forces, SAS, are really impressive. The unit was formed to carry out raids deep behind enemy lines back in 1941. Can you imagine how desperate and brave those recruits were? Today, SAS fighters are the elite among the special forces of the world. They are able to operate various kinds of vehicles and equipment